Hello everyone and welcome to the CarAlarm podcast. My name is Alex.
And I'm Gaven.
And this is once again weekly wrestling review where we review Raw and SmackDown live for the final week of October, I guess if you want to call it that.
Halloween week!
Yes, Halloween. We get a Halloween edition of SmackDown too. It's not just Halloween here. So we're going to start off with Monday Night Raw. This is following the Under Siege of last week, which the show opens with a whole replay of that. Kurt Angle comes in the ring with the entire Raw roster on stage and said he would like to apologize to the roster for basically trusting Shane McMahon and promises he would never put Monday Night Raw, the whole roster, in harm's way ever again.
Except he's doing that at Survivor Series.
Except he's doing that, yeah, basically. So Stephanie McMahon interrupts. Returning, and she won't be the first person returning tonight either.
She was the first person.
Oh, well, okay.
She's not the last
Fair enough.
returning.
That's fair, yeah. So Stephanie says she can't let Kurt start the show off all depressed and apologizing to everyone. I'm going to turn the recording volume here down a little bit for a second. Okay. She says Kurt Angle has earned her respect as GM, and she was all for him being the general manager of Monday Night Raw until he allowed Shane McMahon to put Monday Night Raw under siege, as they are ever so constantly calling it.
Makes sense, but he has to get a little old pretty fast.
Yes, it definitely is. Stephanie McMahon says that Kurt Angle will be the team captain at Survivor Series, and if Angle doesn't get a victory, he will be fired. So that adds a little more stakes to Monday Night Raw's team.
Yep.
Last year, SmackDown won, right? I believe so.
Yeah.
So maybe Monday Night Raw will win this year anyway.
But I don't like Stephanie. Just for the simple fact she's always annoying.
I think, well, that's her job, right? To not be likable. And I think she's really good at it. I don't like her character. I think she's really good on the mic and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's supposed to be likable, though. I can't imagine how she is. She also blamed Shane McMahon for belittling Monday Night Raw with the Under Siege, saying that he's just upset because he lost at Hell in a Cell, too. So now you have Steph versus Shane, even though it's also kind of Kurt Angle versus Shane McMahon, so...
It's now Kurt Angle versus Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Everybody versus
everybody. Yeah. Alright, we'll get to that in a little bit.
We're all fighting each other now.
Yeah. Yeah, suddenly it's just a gang war in WWE. Out of absolutely nowhere. No setup or anything. SmackDown, everyone's just friends all of a sudden for one night only. And then it's a gang war. The first match of the show is Bayley versus Alicia Fox. But Foxy says that she doesn't have the time to face Bayley as, team captain of Survivor Series, wearing a team captain's hat, So she has a replacement. And the replacement is the second person returning tonight, Nia Jax.
This woman is insane.
Yeah, so there was rumors that she was just going to leave. Also, we can talk about this now or we can talk about it in a little bit. There have been 3 releases from WWE. I don't know if you've heard about them. Yes.
Who?
So Emma.
What?
Yeah, Emma, Summer Rae, and Darren Young have all been released. And I know I don't care about Summer Rae or Darren Young either. They're probably better off outside, but I think Emma was a mistake. And, hey, maybe she can go join Bullet Club, since it seems like that's just, Bullet Club's just offering Neville and Aries some memberships. Yeah, I guess there's supposedly supposed to be maybe a few more releases too. Probably not any more big names like Emma. She's probably the biggest. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Neville will finally be officially announced as released. I don't think he was yet.
Wait a minute, Neville was... What?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I remember now.
Yeah, he walked out on Monday Night Raw, and it was a big ordeal, I guess you could say. I think that the dog's barking outside my house is picking up on the microphone.
Probably for chihuahuas.
Hold on. Yeah, okay, it's definitely picking up. Sorry about that. There is absolutely nothing we can do about that.
Well, there is something we can do, but that's illegal.
And I'd rather not. So, Nia Jax ends up winning with a leg drop after not much of it. I mean, it was a pretty good match, but
She destroyed Bayley.
yeah, it was
which
basically
is disappointing because
basically
Bayley's awesome.
yes, she is. It was basically a Kane and Finn Balor squash from last week, and what a coincidence because they opened the show. I believe Kane and Finn Balor did last week as well. Maybe not. I don't remember. But anyway, Alicia Fox announces that Nia Jax will be the first Women's Survivor Series member for Monday Night Raw. Duh. And as Nia Jax is walking out, we get the third return in Samoa Joe, who just walks right past him, doesn't care what segment he's in the middle of. He's just gonna walk out and say what he's gotta say. He picks up a microphone.
Joe does not care.
No, he doesn't. He shouldn't. I still don't understand why he's not Universal Champion right now. Sucks that he got injured, but I'm glad he's back.
Because of Lesnar.
Yeah, I guess so. And Roman, probably. I'm sure he's a factor in that. Samoa Joe says that he does not care about anyone and will pretend that everyone he's beating up is each person in the crowd. That's basically the gist of what he said. He's just kind of started off like, hey, I'm back. He let everyone cheer him. And then he just completely dissed everyone in the crowd to get that
Did you miss me? Well, I didn't miss you.
Yeah. The classic heels back line. When you're good enough, you get cheered. Like Seth Rollins did the same thing when he came back, if you remember that. Apollo Crews ends up answering a sort of challenge that Samoa Joe issued, and pretty much taps out after about 5 minutes to the Coquina Clutch. Titus O'Neil enters the ring, and Joe and Titus have a bit of a stare down. I was worried here that Joe would just leave and run away. I don't want to fight Titus. Yeah. I was like, please don't do that, because everything we've seen for Samoa Joe right now, that is not at all in his character. He's supposed to be this destroyer, hence his nickname, the Destroyer. But he didn't. He ended up acting like he was going to leave the ring. Titus went to 10 to Apollo Crews, and he put Titus in the Coquina Clutch until Titus passed out. Woo! I hope he's on the Survivor Series team.
I think he is.
Is he? I don't think he's officially, but
we can look.
They didn't announce anyone this Monday Night Raw. Yeah, we can check up at the end of it if anything's been announced. On SmackDown Live, they announced a Raw team member, which we'll get to that later. But the next match,
one person on the Raw team.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah, Kurt Angle. Did I spoil that? I think I spoiled it. Kurt Angle's on the Raw team.
Yeah, that was said at the beginning of the show.
Okay.
Kurt Angle's team captain.
That's right. Okay. For a second I thought oh man, I jumped ahead 2 hours in the show. Okay, well the next match is Matt Hardy versus The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. Kurt Angle made this match pretty much just to spite The Miz for
being late.
Yeah.
And bitchy.
Yeah. Constantly on Kurt Angle. The Miz ended up winning with a skull-crushing finale. As far as I could tell, pretty clean. Not really. He didn't really Dallas and Axel didn't really cost Matt the match, really.
No.
So there's that. I kind of miss Maurice though, honestly. Axel and Dallas are cool and all, but Maurice was a really good addition to the Miz's Miztourage, if you will. The next match we have is Asuka versus a rando. I did not write her name down because I do not know her name. I don't remember what they said. But it's basically just a hometown
person.
A hometown person. Yeah, just in the ring with Asuka, and of course it's a squash match. It's nothing.
But Asuka is amazing, so it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Just like Braun Strowman.
Let's see. I think Asuka's probably the first person to have squash matches where she's not above average size. Nia Jax is really large, and so is Braun Strowman and Ryback and all those guys who have had.
Braun Strowman's fucking huge.
Yes, he is. But Asuka's just normal size. But that's how good of a wrestler she is. So I'm really glad she's getting squash matches. I think that's cool. It's probably also because they don't know much what to do with her, but
for now.
Yeah, she should be on the Survivor Series team.
She should be leading it.
Raw should win. Yeah, she should. But to be fair, I'm kind of on board with Foxy being the team captain for now. It's at least interesting. Asuka wouldn't really be much of a on the mic captain. She wouldn't say much. She doesn't say much.
Yeah.
So she can be the X factor that just murders everyone. Let her get like 3 eliminations, I think, at Survivor Series and let Raw win. Let her not get eliminated. I'm not saying job them out. I'm just saying, like, you know,
Let
whatever.
her get the eliminations.
Yeah, however you do it, she doesn't have to completely beat up all 3 of the people she eliminates. You know, it just could end up her getting the eliminations. Just so on paper, I think it looks really good for her. I think that would be nice. But next up, we have Daniel Bryan confronting Kurt Angle backstage live on Monday Night Raw. Kurt Angle was a bit afraid that they would be going under siege again.
It's happening, it's happening, it's happening!
He had a walkie-talkie in his hand yelling that.
That was loud on
that
the
one,
mic.
yeah, it was. So we turned our mic sensitivity up, so we got to get used to that again. If it's too loud, well, then, you know.
Turn down your volume.
Yeah, turn the volume down. It's pretty simple. So Daniel Bryan tries to assure Kurt Angle that he's not here to murder every single person on Monday Night Raw. He says he's just here to apologize for Shane McMahon's actions, basically, that he did not support everything. But Kurt Angle does not believe him because last time he trusted Shane McMahon,
and they got beat up.
Every single person on Raw got beat up. Except for a few people, I guess, but...
Like The Miz.
Yeah. And Kane, I don't think... But there was a few like, big names that didn't.
I think Kane was, downstairs having a tea party with Satan and them.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice. Just enjoying his time in the basement of the stadium. Yeah, Kurt Angle just tells Daniel Bryan to get out of here. And Daniel Bryan later is seen on the phone talking to someone from SmackDown, like presumably Shane McMahon, maybe his wife. Who knows? Explaining the situation before the lights go out. And then you can see the only light in the room is his phone screen on his face. And you see Kane's hand come up. And he chokeslams Daniel Bryan into the dark. You hear the table break or whatever sound that was.
Bones crunching.
Yeah, that sounded exactly like bones crunching.
Never know.
Yeah, true.
Daniel Bryan's bones could be different.
They could just be wooden. Maybe that's why he had to retire. Got wooden spinal cord.
Sir, you have wooden bones now. You can't wrestle anymore.
Wood bone syndrome. Okay, let's move on to the next match. I don't think there was much more Daniel Bryan. I guess we'll have to see. Team Hell No's back, I guess. In not the happiest way, but they're back. And just in time, too, because the Shield got together. So.
Who knew?
Mm-hmm. Who knew we're in 2012 again? 2013? Who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah, it's a time. A few years ago. The next match is Cesaro versus Finn Balor. Finn Balor looks to redeem himself after that squash match last week, which was probably the dumbest thing I've seen on Monday Night Raw as of late. Finn Balor ends up winning with a stomp to the back of the head of Cesaro. That sounds a lot worse than it was. He wasn't on the ground. He was like, you know how Cena does his leg drop where
he was
bent
just
over.
getting up and then he just like, you're done.
Yeah, Cesaro was just bent over, standing up. So, but I guess maybe they want to stop with the coup de grace. You seen the coup de grace he did on AJ, right?
Yeah.
That was rough. Maybe they were like, okay, that's it.
You
You can do this move one more time. And Balor was like, okay, AJ, we're gonna make this coup de grace count. I don't know what the reason might be for that. Or maybe Finn Balor just wanted to end the match differently, which I'm all game for.
Yeah. Because he's done that. He's done it like that a couple of times, honestly.
Yeah, he has. He's done that move before, too. Hideo Itami does that move, too. Yeah, that's Finn Balor ends up winning with that move rather than a coup de grace. And Kane interrupts, enters the arena, and tombstones Finn Balor on the stage. And then leaves. Even though it was not a good-looking tombstone.
No.
That pop was my bottle. Sorry about that. I saw that spike on the audio.
Oh, Lord.
It went very, very deep red up there. Kane
goes down to the ring for his match against Seth Rollins.
Yes, he does. Seth Rollins. Yes, he does. The Kingslayer. The Demon. What could a nickname be for Seth if he slays the Demon? The Demon Slayer? But that's the Kingslayer. Like Demon Conqueror. No. That's Lesnar's
Demon
name.
Beater.
No. That sounds terrible. Sounds like he's abusing Kane.
Oh, isn't he?
Mm-mm. I don't think so. They're
You
fighting.
You can't really abuse a demon. Demons abuse you.
Wait, the Demon Beater?
Yeah.
That just sounds a bit... It doesn't sound cool, though. Kingslayer sounds rad. It sounds like, yeah, man, he's the Kingslayer. Slays kings.
And he beats demons.
Okay, sure. He beats demons.
I just gotta beat Finn Balor.
Yep, and Bray Wyatt, he's probably a demon. I don't know what Bray Wyatt is.
Bray Wyatt calls himself a god.
I think he's just a mix of dirt, hair, and some face paint from that lady.
And some darkness thing that wants to fight the sun.
Mm-hmm. And some beard hair.
Which, by the way, is the only thing with Bray Wyatt I'm actually all for. Let's fight the sun, Bray.
Yeah, have a, how God was on, Raw one time, we could have a Bray Wyatt versus the Sun match.
Oh, Lord.
Does Bray Wyatt have children? Because he could just have his child dressed up as a sun. You get it?
I don't know. Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
Now I really want to know if he has kids.
We'll find out later.
And see if they're as whacked out as he is.
Also to mention, Bo Dallas, I didn't make a deal of it because I forgot to mention it. It was a couple days ago Raw happened. Bo Dallas is back. He was one of the ones sick with Reigns and Bray. JoJo is back as well, who is Bray Wyatt's girlfriend. She is back ring announcing. So they're presumably perfectly fine. I can't imagine them putting out there if they weren't 100% good, you know?
Yeah. Don't want to get everybody else sick. We don't want another kind of like that injury thing we had for WrestleMania a couple years ago.
It'll be SmackDown versus SmackDown at Survivor Series. So Roman will probably be back within the next month, maybe, I would assume. If it's anything. I mean, obviously this has no evidence to back it up. I'm just assuming by how long they took to come back that Roman and Bray should be back within the next month or two. But the next match, as Gavin said, is Seth Rollins versus Kane. And Kane wins clean. Nothing. I guess they figured at this point we had Kane beat Balor clean. Squash.
Might as well beat everybody
Yeah,
clean.
you might as well look really strong. Which, good. If you're going to have Finn Balor lose, make sure it's for a good reason. And I guess the reason will be that Kane is now all of a sudden a top guy again.
Yeah.
For the first time in 20 years.
He's got his demon powers back.
Mm-hmm.
And he is going to start killing everybody and then taking them downstairs to his tea party with Satan.
And not giving them tea. Because they don't deserve it.
And they'll get like the stale little cakes.
That sounds good. I have to say, this is a little bit off topic, but Finn Balor, well no it's not because they're in a feud. Finn Balor's, the paint that he had for TLC, I was looking forward to the whole pumpkin shtick that he had going with Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
I thought that looked really cool, but that never happened. I don't know if he never planned on doing that whole thing as a full body thing, but I'd like to see that maybe against Kane.
That'd be nice.
I know it's not October anymore, but
who cares?
yeah,
It'd still be
be a
nice.
turkey this month. So yeah, Kane pins Seth after a catching chokeslam because Seth goes for a move, I think, off the top rope.
Yeah, he goes for that clothesline again.
Yeah. So Kane catches chokeslam, just like 2K18 style. Dean Ambrose attacks Kane afterwards, because he goes to hit for Rollins again. But the Bar comes out, Sheamus and Cesaro, and they jump Seth and Dean, while the crowd, for the first time I think ever, has chanted for Roman.
Which
You noticed that?
This is good. This is
Yeah,
good.
it
We're
is.
making progress here.
Yeah. Right afterwards, they show Daniel Bryan being taken out on a stretcher as a follow-up to the Kane getting murdered. Man, I'm glad everyone's all active outside today.
Yeah, I know. Sorry about that, folks. We have a lot of activity going on outside, and there's no way to block it out for now.
Here in the South, people like to have loud cars and drive by quiet neighborhoods, so
Who knew?
yeah, what a surprise. But we're going to ignore them because we're better, and this is our show. And we don't have the time to edit this out, even though we probably do, but it's not necessary because it's just a podcast. And no one cares about a little bit of car noise.
Nope.
Alright, anyway. So, next up we have the Trick or Street Fight, which apparently just
It's a
is
thing
mandatory
now. It's a thing
for
now.
every Halloween.
And I like it. You know, it's a way of us celebrating Halloween.
I don't like it. I'm going to be honest with you.
Come on, it's a Halloween street fight. Themed street fight.
It's silly.
Of course, it's silly.
And not in a good way, though. It's just dumb. What was the last one? They had
Bray Wyatt versus Dean.
I remember. Okay, I don't remember that one at all.
It was the last one because there was the feud during Bray and Dean.
Okay, I remember.
If I'm wrong, correct me.
I have no idea, so I believe you. But I don't remember that match, so I can't speak for it. But I remember the Christmas match with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. I liked that a lot. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Ever since then, I can't remember a holiday-themed match that I actually enjoyed, like, thoroughly. Like, man, this is good. I'd like to watch this again next year. This certainly was not one of them. The main reason I don't like it, I'll tell you what happens first. So, we have Rhino and Heath Slater dressed up as Mr. and Mrs. Claus. Of course, Rhino presumably being Mrs. Claus. They didn't say it, but
They
it's
did
obvious.
once.
Did they?
Yeah, they called Rhino Mrs. Claus
Okay.
once. That was it.
I didn't hear that. And we have Chad Too Bad and Rex Ferguson, or what are they calling him? Tex.
Yeah,
His name,
Texas.
I believe his name is supposed to be Sex Ferguson, but since WWE's PG, so it's Tex Ferguson. I wrote it down as Rex Ferguson, which sounds a lot dumber. But so they're from Southpaw Regional Wrestling. That's their characters. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson's characters. Anderson being Chad Too Bad and Luke Gallows being Tex. This match was a joke. As we
I
pointed
liked
out.
it.
Rhino ended up pinning Carl Anderson after Luke Gallows had a pumpkin on his head in celebration because he thought they were going to win the match. He had it on backwards and he couldn't see, so Rhino put Anderson through a table and pinned him for the win. I don't like how stupid it made Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows look. Because
I don't either, but
that's
the
the
match.
that's the main reason I don't like it at all. At this point I could care less what Rhino and Heath Slater do. I do like Rhino and I enjoy Heath Slater. I feel like maybe give them a show like the Fashion Files or whatever.
We'll put them on the Fashion Files.
Well, they're on Raw though. I mean like Raw's counterpart to Fashion Files. Because basically Slater and Rhino kind of got themselves over, on SmackDown with their characters. So next up we have Enzo Amore, the first cruiserweight segment of the night. I think it might be the only one. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Enzo Amore comes out, and Drew Gulak is in the get room with him because I guess he did such a bang-up job announcing for Enzo when his throat was sore. Gulak recites Enzo's shtick, some of it, and calls Kalisto soft, but of course he spells it S-O-F-T. Which, listen, the cruiserweight division is not the most interesting thing, but it is entertaining to see Drew Gulak and Enzo in the ring.
It is.
At least a little bit.
I like Drew Gulak, this little character he's got now.
Yeah. Yeah, he was nothing. I think literally before. So, yeah, I like it too.
I didn't even know he was in WWE for a while.
Yeah. Gulak calls. Oh, okay. So we have Drew Gulak versus Kalisto as the cruiserweight match of the night. Kalisto ended up winning clean.
With that Salida del Sol?
Yeah, I think Salida del Sol. I think is how you pronounce it. And then Enzo ended up attacking Kalisto after the match because that's what you do. So I guess they will probably be the only non-SmackDown versus Raw match on the Survivor Series card. If I had a prediction, it would be that. We have a main event match next. The main event, Mickie James versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship.
I did not see this match.
You didn't see?
It's the only match I didn't see.
So, I think it was a good match. It wasn't, like, amazing or anything. You don't need to go back and watch it, but it was good. It was pretty good. It's cool to see that. It's cool to think in my head when you're watching the show, you're like, okay, the women are main eventing. We don't think much of it now. But, like, a year ago, that was, like, not a thing.
Yeah.
It's not happening. I guess about 2 years ago now. Maybe a year and a half ago. 2 years.
And now
So-
we've got the main event of Raw being a women's match,
And-
I'm liking it a
Yeah,
lot.
and it's not that out of place or anything. Not that it would be, but you know what I mean. So Alexa Bliss ended up winning with a right hand to the face of Mickie James, just a straight punch. I guess it was more of a forearm, but it just knocked her out cold, and kayfabe, of course. And she won with that.
Or maybe real fabe.
Maybe real fabe. No, it wasn't, though. She rolled out, like, afterwards. Okay, so after the match, the real main event, I guess, if you want to say it, since this is the last thing that happened, but that was the last match. We see The Miz, Curtis Axel, and Bo Dallas. All the night they were scared of Strowman showing back up.
Yeah, because of a bag of trash in the room.
Yes, so someone planted a bag of trash in their locker room. They were afraid that Braun Strowman would come back since he was placed in a dumpster and smashed by Kane. So Kurt Angle forced The Miz and all of them to stay to the end of the show. So as soon as the main event ended, they headed out. They got in their limo. They were ready to leave. But a garbage truck was in their way. It was a different colored garbage truck, completely different garbage truck than the one at TLC, which, of course, you can't just bring a garbage truck across the country with you, but
you could.
It costs a lot, and
I have that money.
I'm sure they do, but do you really? You couldn't just like. I don't know, man.
It doesn't really matter, but it's little continuity errors that make some people like to go on the internet and write 7 paragraphs about why wrestling's stupid.
I'm not willing to do that, but I have to admit that it does bother me a little bit. I mean, I'm not some stupid. The audience isn't stupid, you know. We can see that that's a different garbage truck. But anyway, it doesn't take that. It doesn't take much away from it. The whole wrestling's stupid anyway. I mean, Braun Strowman got crushing a garbage truck at TLC. So what can I really say? And that's not me saying I don't like this. I do like stuff like that. But I can admit that wrestling is stupid, and that's partially why I love it. So yeah, Strowman pops right out of that garbage truck like he's been in there for taking a little nap. Even though he actually doesn't come out of it, he just stands up on the ground. But you have to assume. Strowman beats up the Miz Taraj after they are taken out of the, what do you call that, long car?
Limo?
Yeah. And then
we're sorry, folks. This English is really broken today.
I think I said it like earlier too, a few minutes ago. I said limousine. So they're all brought out to the ring, or to the stage rather, and he brings Curtis Axel to the ring and power slams him 5 times, I believe. 5 times. 5 times. I think that might have been 6, but I tried to do the Booker T thing. You're welcome. And the last time he power slams him through the announce table to close the show.
He's
on
dead.
Stage. Yeah, Curtis Axel is now off TV. Bo Dallas has taken his place.
Curtis Axel is just dead. And if he does come back, he'll be the new Undertaker.
R.I.P. Axelmania. So that was
Let's
all.
not start that up again.
You didn't like Axelmania? I liked it. I thought it was the only good thing Curtis Axel's ever done.
I like the mistrust thing he's doing.
Alright. You ready to move on to SmackDown Live?
Yeah.
We'll review both at the end. As usual. So, Shane McMahon opens the show, as Kurt Angle did on Raw. And Tom Phillips, of all people, announces that Braun Strowman is the first member of the Raw... Well, I guess, the first...
pick.
Yeah, first pick of the Raw team that's not team captain, however you want to phrase that, is added. So there you go. That's just out of nowhere on SmackDown for some reason.
Just like an RKO.
But I think he said it was on WWE.com or Twitter or something, but the point is most people aren't going to see it there. So it's basically just revealed on SmackDown Live. But Shane says that SmackDown attacked Raw to show that they aren't the inferior brand, which they have been seen as for years to come. Or years
which is true.
To have been now. Yeah.
Raw
definitely
always calls them the B team.
Yeah, but to be fair, WWE treats it like the inferior show. That's why it is seen that way. Shane says there will be hell to pay for the treatment of Daniel Bryan on Monday Night Raw when he was chokeslammed through the table. Presumably, even though I think after the lights came back on, it was just like a lamp on the ground. And a little turned over, what do you call it, end table?
Maybe Kane just doesn't like tables anymore. Maybe
he doesn't. Or maybe Bryan just struggled in the air and kicked over the little end table, and then Kane let him down, and they had tea with the devil. So, Shane says that he will be the team captain at Survivor Series. So we're going to get Kurt Angle versus Shane McMahon, basically.
No surprise there.
No, I honestly was going to say, I was ready to say that if the 5 and 5 wouldn't be led by these two, that it would just be Shane and Angle in a singles match at Survivor Series. Maybe the main event or maybe before the elimination. Yeah. But nope, this is going to happen in the match. So that's cool. Sure, why not? Oh. The first match is Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler in a 2 out of 3 falls match. The winner will be the first non-captain member of the Survivor Series team.
Or SmackDown.
Yeah. SmackDown Live.
Of the team we're on the show of now.
Yeah. Well said, my friend.
You can rearrange that sentence however you need to figure it out.
Okay, so it was a pretty good match. I think their best match so far.
I loved it.
Yeah. Dolph Ziggler gets the first fall with a super kick, straight up Shawn Michaels style. Well, I guess not really. It wasn't a.
He didn't have cowboy boots on.
He didn't have the tuning the band either. Was it sweet chin music? I cannot think of words today. Hope you're proud of me.
We're all proud of you, sir.
Thank you. Bobby Roode ends up getting the second pinfall of the match with a slingshot into the LED post in the corner, Cesaro style. Except Ziggler's teeth didn't get shoved into his jaw.
Just like it slammed straight in the post, rolled up immediately.
Yeah. And then later on, Ziggler tried to schoolboy Roode. Roode reversed into a schoolboy, threw Ziggler off, hit the glorious DDT for the 1, 2, 3.
Freaking height on that DDT,
yeah, I know.
though.
He's getting good at that DDT. So Bobby Roode is the second member, I guess, with Shane McMahon to join Survivor Series team. Tonight they build their team quick. I won't say the rest till we get to it, but SmackDown's building their team like next week. They will have the entire team. Raw has one member as of two members as of currently.
Still, it's pretty quick. I like it.
Last week they had one Randy Orton, and that was at the main event. So next up we have Baron Corbin versus Sin Cara, their third match, week in a row. However, it's not as uninteresting as you would think hearing the two names Baron Corbin and Sin Cara.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, it was new and it felt cool for Sin Cara. So Corbin attempts several times during the match to tear off the mask of Sin Cara, and of course in Mexico,
that's disgrace.
That's like the sacred. That's their mask. Don't mess with it. That's their face. That's who they are in the ring. That's their whole persona in wrestling. So after several attempts, Sin Cara gets frustrated and just rams Baron Corbin into the steel steps and just starts punching him. Mounted punches. It's over and over and over. Corbin gets up. He takes him down again. Corbin gets up.
Him over the announce table.
He takes him down over the announce table. He does like a dropping knee to knock Corbin off the announce table, which looked pretty cool. And then he ends up throwing a chair at him.
Yeah, that was like my favorite part. He just picks up and throws one of those nice shit.
Braun Strowman style. He didn't hit him, but it was cool. Sin Cara was great. There's these stories of Sin Cara getting in backstage arguments all the time. So feels like
screaming at people in Spanish.
It feels like a bit of realism brought into wrestling, which doesn't happen too often. And It doesn't have to, but it feels good when it does, and it makes it way more believable. So the match ended up ending with the ref calling for the bell because Sin Cara would not stop murdering Baron Corbin, not Braun Strowman. Corbin ended up running away into the crowd.
Braun Strowman would kill Sin Cara and everybody else in the locker room.
Braun Strowman would have thrown a chair at Sin Cara's chair. And there would have just been a clash in the air like Dragon Ball Z style.
Or he would have eaten that chair.
Or he would have eaten it and spit it back out.
Just generate another chair out of thin air. It's like,
rah! Just spawn it. Okay.
Or lay a chair egg.
Lay a chair egg?
Yeah, and then just hatch it.
Sure, why not?
You have like a folding chair.
Okay. Let's move on. Next, we have Jinder Mahal coming out once again. He says that last week he was unfairly ejected from ringside during Styles and one of the Singh brothers. I'm not even going to try to attempt their names anymore because I don't know what's happening. Due to fear of what he would do to AJ Styles, he says that Brock Lesnar should be feeling that exact same fear And at Survivor Series, the Beast will be conquered, and afterwards, Jinder Mahal will be known as the Beastmaster. Which actually sounds pretty cool. So.
It does, but it's not going to happen. Sorry about that. Sorry to burst your bubble, Jinder, but holy crap, that was loud. Anyways,
yeah, it was really loud.
Sorry to burst your bubble, Jinder, but your face get taken to Suplex City and you're going to die.
Yeah.
You are actually going to die. You will never leave Suplex City. The championship's just going to stay there. We're never going to be able to fight it again. It's probably in the sewer somewhere.
It's a double title match.
And you're going to die.
R.I.P. Who else died? I don't remember. Oh, Curtis Axel. There you go. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, never mind. I was thinking Heath Slater. I was going to say 3MB. Drew McIntyre. Stay up there, buddy. We don't need that. So, yeah, AJ Styles ends up entering for his match against, apparently this time, Samir Singh. I thought it was last week, and maybe it's a rematch, but I think he looks different. I didn't really feel like checking, but who cares?
It's one of them.
It's one of the Singh brothers. This time it is Samir. I don't know which letter. But
Samir.
Okay, so this time it for sure is. I don't know what happened last week. I don't know who was who. I know AJ Styles was AJ Styles. That's about it. So AJ almost wins basically immediately of 1 minute maybe with a Styles clash, and then he's jumped by Jinder Mahal and the other Singh brother till he is tossed outside the ring into the LED ring post. It takes my brain to go through a process to think of the words LED before just saying ring post, because it is different these days.
Yes, it is.
And then that's really the end of the segment. Nothing more after that. AJ's beat up, and Mahal celebrates with his 5-6 month ongoing WWE Championship reign.
Yeah, too long.
That's great. Yes, too long for Jinder. Too long for most people.
Next up, for most people,
I would say most. Not most that have been champion, but just for most wrestlers. I mean,
yeah.
Wyatt had it for a month. Orton had it for like 2, I think, maybe 3.
Both of them should have had it longer, though.
I think Jinder Mahal's probably had the championship longer than AJ has at this point, when he had it.
Probably, honestly.
He had it till Royal Rumble when he lost it to Cena, and he won it from Dean Ambrose, I think, whatever the pay-per-view after SummerSlam was for SmackDown. Because I remember it was Dean versus Ziggler on SmackDown for the title.
Night of Champions, maybe?
Maybe. I know Raw had Clash of Champions. I don't know. I think Backlash. I think it was Backlash that AJ won it from Dean. I don't know. Maybe he won the pay-per-view afterwards. The point is, not very long, basically. So, that's just not saying much, but it's just putting things into perspective. So there you go.
Mahal sucks. He needs the championship taken away.
I don't think he sucks. I just don't think he's right for the title right now.
I think he sucks. He needs to get better first.
Trade places with Drew. No, actually, no. I don't want Jinder on NXT either. I was going to say trade places with Drew McIntyre. Drew can be World Champion and Jinder can be NXT Champion, but I don't really want to see Jinder Mahal with the NXT Championship either, so that'd probably be worse.
Yeah, it would.
NXT would just die. The
Authors of Pain come and kill him.
Yeah, there you go. Hire Authors of Pain, and they have Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish are a stable. I don't remember what they're called. I haven't been watching NXT, but they could take them out too. The next match we have is Rusev versus Big E. The New Day comes out dressed up all in costumes because it, of course, is the Halloween episode of SmackDown Live, despite there not being a trick or street fight.
Which sucked.
Which I'm happy for.
I like the trick or street fights.
Yeah. So Big E is dressed as Akeem. Kofi is dressed as Brother Love. And Xavier Woods is dressed as Jimmy Hart.
I have a question.
Yes.
Who's Akeem?
Akeem was a you know what? I'll show you a picture right now of him. He was this big guy who wore you've seen what Big E wore. Let's see. If I just typed in Akeem on Google, I don't know if that'll just pop up with a wrestler.
It'll probably pull up your racist. Go away.
My internet is very fast. Sarcasm alert. Okay, that's him, but he's not in this costume. Okay, well, I think we got something here.
Prince Akeem?
Prince. Yeah, there he is.
The white guy in this.
I don't know. So I don't know what he is. He looks white.
It's a white dude.
He probably is. WB wasn't.
It's a white boy.
I mean, Yokozuna was, I think, Samoan. They said he was Japanese for years.
Yeah.
His entire career. So I doubt they cared. But yeah, he looks hilarious. That's who Big E was. So if you don't know who Akeem is, Google him and go to images. It'll be the first image. Akeem. Let's plug Akeem's Google search. Okay, so during the match, Aiden English started singing on the announce table about Rusev Day because every SmackDown Live is, of course,
Rusev Day.
Exactly. Before Xavier Woods interrupted him with his little trombone music for the New Day tune, English double axe handled Xavier Woods off of the announce table before being chased into the ring by Kofi Kingston, where he would eat a big ending from Big E, and then while Big E was distracted by the Aiden English he just murdered,
he gets super kicked in the back of the face.
And Rusev gets the win.
Which is good. Rusev deserves a win.
He does. I mean, I wouldn't have minded it being clean, though. I know they're doing a whole thing with Aiden English and them, but it wouldn't have hurt Big E. Big E's in the New Day. He's in the stable, so that doesn't hurt their credibility at all as a team.
They're amazing still.
And it makes Rusev look really good because he beat Big E, which is a member of the New Day. Maybe that's a bit contradictory, but I just don't think it would have been that big of a deal. I'm not saying...
It wouldn't have hurt Big E that much, but it helps.
Unless it was like a squash match.
Yeah.
Which I think
it wasn't.
No, it wasn't close. It was an alright match. Next up, we have the best segment of the entire show. I say both nights. It is Stranger Things, which
I didn't get to see this.
You didn't get to see this. I wish I would have remembered about it. So, well, luckily I do take in-depth notes on the Stranger Things. You've seen Stranger Things, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
I'm currently watching season 2.
Okay, I haven't started yet.
It's awesome.
I can only assume that it is. I haven't started yet, but good because we're finally able to relate to something.
This isn't product placement, but watch season 2.
Yeah, watch Stranger Things on Netflix. This is an amazing show.
We
season 1 first.
You didn't hear that from us though, but you definitely heard it from us.
Netflix can sponsor us though.
Hopefully. Anyways.
Alright, so Fandango is dressed as the sheriff.
Fandango?
Fandango. Fandango is dressed as a sheriff and puts Eggo waffles on the floor in front of a sheeted table. The table has sheets laying over it into the front of it. The waffles are taken before Tyler Breeze walks in dressed as 11 from Stranger Things with the long hair. Fandango is surprised and asks who could be under the table if Tyler Breeze is right there. Tyler Breeze says it's probably the Ascension. But Victor walks in dressed as Barb from the Stranger Things and says that it couldn't be them because they're right there. So the tablecloth is lifted and out comes Ty Dillinger dressed as 11 once again. Breeze says another 11, but Ty Dillinger says no, I'm a 10. And then he takes Tyler Breeze's waffles and leaves. I think that's my favorite part of the entire night.
I love that. I'm going to go back and watch that.
Yeah, we need to. So Connor shows up dressed as Kane, and the three attack Connor thinking that SmackDown was once again, or that SmackDown was under siege of Raw. Or I guess Raw would be, I don't know how to phrase under siege, but he thought that, they all three thought that Kane was going to attack all three of them because of the under siege segment. But it turns out he's just dressed as Kane for Halloween. And he told Tyler Breeze this. Tyler Breeze was just, laughing in the corner. Because he didn't care. They just wanted to attack him. The lights go out. And a picture of the Bludgeon Brothers light up before the sounds of all four of them getting beaten up and, things smashed and such is heard in the darkness. And then the final pan is on a small screen with someone wearing like a Asuka-style mask but without the paint. And it's just got a little smiley face sort of on it. And they say, "Let the games begin." And that's the end of Stranger Things. I love...
Let the games begin.
Yeah. So
it sounds like the Hunger Games.
It's presumably the Bludgeon Brothers and Fashion... I don't know. They're still just called Breezango, I guess. Are gonna have a feud,
which
hopefully.
I am good with.
Yeah, whatever. Hopefully that won't end Fashion Files, though. That's the only thing I care about. I don't care if... I'd like Breezango to be on TV, but if they're never on TV in the ring, just have them do that segment every week. That's all I need. The main event is Kevin Owens versus Shinsuke Nakamura, and the winner will be the next...
Team Raw. Or SmackDown.
On Team Raw.
I'm still on... my brain's broken. At least
Still got
I can
Monday
get
Night
words
Raw
out,
mode.
though.
Yeah. So yeah, on Team SmackDown. During the match, Sami Zayn tries to distract Shinsuke Nakamura, but fails, and after the failure, he stays at ringside for a little while. And just as Kevin Owens is about to get a Kinshasa to the face, Sami Zayn pulls him out and clears off the announce table, which so he threw the top layer of the announce table, the little
Cover piece.
Yeah, the little cover piece, I guess you'd call it. He threw it off, and it hit some guy in the face. I don't know what's up with that. It didn't look like it hurt, but he sold it. So, I don't know if anyone noticed that, but you can go back and watch that. That looked a little, strange. So, yeah, he cleared off the table, and presumably for Kevin Owens to powerbomb or slam Nakamura through it. But Randy Orton shows up and slams Sami onto the table, and Nakamura hits the Kinshasa on Kevin Owens after a schoolboy, which is kind of the exact same finish as Bobby Roode's now that I'm thinking about it.
It works, though.
Yeah, it worked. It worked fine. And Shinsuke Nakamura is now with Orton and Bobby Roode and Shane McMahon for Team SmackDown.
This is shaping up to be a pretty good SmackDown team.
Yeah, and it's also announced next week that Rusev versus AJ Styles will be a match to determine the next member of Team SmackDown Live. I assume AJ would win that, right?
Yeah, this was a really good match, though.
Yeah, it was.
Really liked it.
I liked AJ and
Shinsuke
and
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens. I got AJ and Shinsuke on the brain, man.
Yeah, that'd be a really good match.
Take the title off of Jinder, put it on either one of them, and they can have that WrestleMania feud.
And whoever wins can feud with Bobby Roode.
Yep. Okay, so what do you think of Raw or SmackDown together? Which one do you think was better? Since for once you've seen most of both of them.
I feel SmackDown was better.
Yeah, I agree. Which hasn't actually been the case for a little while, I think.
Yeah, SmackDown's been kind of boring for a little while.
Yeah, Roode and Ziggler had a pretty good match. Nakamura and Owens had a good match. Stranger Things was amazing as usual. Sin Cara and Baron Corbin was a nice little surprise.
Yeah, chairs getting thrown.
Yeah, chairs getting thrown. Yeah, I have to agree with you. I think for once in a little while, SmackDown was better. So, I guess that's that. You got anything else? We got anything else to talk about?
You think Roman will be back in time for Survivor Series?
That's a good question. How many weeks do we have? 2 or 3?
I think like 2 weeks.
I don't think so. I don't think it will.
What is it that's going around?
I've heard it's like meningitis, which is like a infection, I think, in the spinal cord and brain or whatever.
Oh, really?
But I'm not exactly sure, so don't take my word for it. But it's something. It is contagious, so they wouldn't bring it back unless
it's obviously contagious. A lot of people just got it.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is they wouldn't bring him back until he was 100%, absolutely no chance of him spreading that or still having it.
Yeah. So he can't come back now, anyways, with that bull crap around.
No. So he probably won't be back for Survivor Series. If he is, maybe he'll return the day of Survivor Series. Like, oh, we don't have a 5th member. Who could it be? Braun. You know, why don't they just add the entire Shield to? Oh, never mind. I forgot. Demons, other tag champs.
Yeah.
I was going to say, the Shield on the Survivor Series team would be awesome.
Yeah, it'd be the Shield, Kurt Angle, and
Braun
Strowman.
Yeah.
Versus SmackDown. Like that they would definitely win.
I guess Roman's going to be on the team. If he's able to make it, I assume Roman would be on the team. Who are your predictions for Team Raw? Since I assume AJ will be for Team SmackDown.
I say it'll be... Let's see. Braun Strowman, of course.
We got Samoa Joe, too.
Samoa Joe. Roman, if he can make it.
Who else do we have?
Hold on.
Kane?
Yeah, Kane.
Maybe.
Not Lesnar.
No, he's fighting Mahal.
Let's see.
I'm trying to think of who we have. Who's on Raw that isn't in a match or...
John Cena.
I don't think Cena's gonna be at Survivor Series. We're gonna be...
You never know.
Yeah, if they put Cena, Reigns, Joe, Strowman, and Angle on the same team...
There you go.
No, then that's just like... it's just like the Squash Squad.
Yeah.
Just squash everything.
You gotta throw Triple H in there somewhere, too.
And Lesnar.
And Lesnar's gonna squash Jinder.
You know what? Maybe Triple H... He's been wrestling independent shows because everyone got injured, so maybe...
Yeah, he went to what, Chile?
Yeah, I think so.
Like that?
Somewhere in South America. I think I'd be on board with Triple H wrestling at Survivor Series in the match.
Me too.
Maybe...
Stephanie just come out next week.
Yeah.
Triple H is on the show, on the team, by the way. You got no choice. Bye-bye.
Yeah, she could just say that it's to watch Kurt Angle and make sure he doesn't...
Mess anything up.
Yeah, mess anything up. Because she, of course, would trust Triple H more than Kurt Angle in the ring, and she would think highly of Triple H too, so... Yeah, I think that'd be cool. And maybe, Kurt Angle and Triple H could cost Team Raw the victory by fighting. Kurt Angle could just angle slam Triple H, and then we get a Kurt Angle Triple H feud.
Which would be awesome.
Yeah. It could just go all the way to WrestleMania.
We could have the Miz. No, Miz is fighting with the IC title.
Yeah, for some reason in a match with Baron Corbin. Jesus.
That's gonna be a good match, though. I feel like Survivor Series is gonna be good.
I don't know. I have a few problems with it.
All right, let's hear.
So I think that first of all, Miz and Baron Corbin sounds very boring to me. They don't have any nowhere in my mind would I want to see those two characters come in contact with each other. They just seem very disinterested with each other. But that match and Alexa Bliss versus Natalya, I don't really want to see that either. I'm sure it won't be a bad match, but I just don't care. We've seen them wrestle before several times. They went through a feud before Alexa Bliss left SmackDown. Who else do we have? I'm sure Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins versus the Usos will be a great match.
Yeah, of course. You've got 4 really, really good superstars.
And it will finally get the Shield versus the Usos again, that hasn't happened in a long time, but not that I missed it. I'm not saying I did, I'm just saying they've worked together so much before, I'm sure they can have a great match. So that one isn't really one that I'm talking about, but Mahal and Lesnar, I've never dreamed about ever even hoping to want to see that match.
Yeah, that's not going to be the best match.
I think the Survivor Series match will be great. What other?
Both the Survivor Series matches.
Yeah, the women's too. The women's too. Speaking of which, SmackDown Live has their women's team. It's Natalya, Naomi. No, not Natalya. Excuse me. Naomi, Charlotte, Becky, Carmella, and who else do they have? Naomi, Charlotte, Becky, Carmella, Tamina. Becky's the team captain. So and on Monday Night Raw, all they have is Foxy and Nia Jax. Who do you think the last 3 members will be?
Sasha.
Okay, that's all. I'd say
see.
Probably Sasha, Asuka, and maybe Mickie, right?
Yeah, most likely. Or Alexa. No, wait, Alexa's the champ.
She's fine for the title.
I keep forgetting all of our best people are the champs.
Yep. I think that's about it, huh?
Yeah.
Got much else? You can follow us on Twitter at CarAlarm Podcast.
You can find our page on Facebook. You type in the little search bar at Sounding Car Alarm. You find our page. Give us a like and follow and all that stuff.
We are CarAlarm.
Peace out.
Thanks for watching.